Hey there, YouTube friends. I recently gave my workroom a makeover, and now that I have 20 years worth of tools organized, I thought I'd do a video to show some of you new homeowners and maybe people that are new to DIY home repair, some of the tools that I use and some of the essentials that you might want to buy. It's not really that expensive to get involved with, and if you do the home repairs yourself, you'll save yourself a lot of money. Now I'm going to show you some of the tools that I own and what they do, about how much they cost. And in most cases, I've done videos specific to these products that I'm going to be showing you. So you can check them out at a later time. But for now, let's just go over the basics. All right, the first tool I want to show you is the cordless drill. This is the most essential and useful tool that I have. This happens to be a Warrior brand. I picked it up for about 25 bucks from Harbor Freight, but you could get different brands at Lowe's or Home Depot ranging from $25 to over $100. But if you're going to buy yourself your first tool, get yourself a cordless drill. You'll never realize how much you use it and how useful they are. I use this to put a ceiling fan together, furniture from Walmart that had hundreds of screws. Working on a deck, I've used this. This has a Phillips head bit in it, but you could also get bits that have star bits or flathead bits, but an extremely useful tool. If you're a new homeowner and you're putting things together, you'll save a lot of time by having one of these. All right, so you're a new homeowner and you want to hang pictures, you want to get them straight. How do you do it? You get yourself one of these. This is a laser level. This happens to be a Ryobi brand, but you can buy different brands at the big box stores between 10 and 20 bucks. And this is how you'll always guarantee yourself to get your pictures straight. Okay, now a quick demonstration on how to use the laser level. You place it against the wall. You get that bubble between the two lines right there. And then you turn it on. And then it sticks to the wall. It shoots out a laser line, and that's where you hang your pictures on. Now, staying with the hanging a picture theme and getting it straight and secure on the wall, how do you do it? Well, it's always best if you hit a stud. So how do you find out if you have a stud? You get yourself one of these. This is a stud finder. This happens to be a Craftsman brand, and again, between 10 and 20 bucks. All right, here's a quick demonstration of how to use a stud finder. You put it against the wall, you squeeze the button, it lights up, you slide it across, and when you hit a stud, it'll beep and light up, just like that. Go back, there it is again. And studs should be 16 inches on center. All right, now if you're doing any electrical work, such as changing an outlet or a switch, you always want to make sure that the power is off. You don't want to guess with that. So this is a south wire voltage detector. Costs about 10 bucks. And how that works is you just go over to the switch, and if it's hot, it lights up and beeps. I'll do the same thing down here. That's how that works. Okay, now I'm going to take you over to my pegboard and show you some more essentials. We have a claw hammer. You can get one for about 10 bucks. Socket set and ratchet. You could get that for under 20. Adjustable wrenches. Pry bar, very useful if you're pulling up old flooring or molding. A framing square, if you're cutting boards. Utility knives, very useful. Putty knife. An assortment of Phillips head and flathead screwdrivers. If you're going to do painting, get yourself a good brush. Purdy is a great brand. This is an angled brush, so if you're doing around the ceiling, around doors, get yourself one of those and you won't have to tape. Right here we have a plier, very essential right there. Those are spade bits. You might not use those, but if you're doing a new door lock installation, you might want one of those. And another very essential tool right here, this is a level. This belonged to my father. This is probably older than I am, but very useful to have when you want to get things straight. Now, if you're going to be doing messy projects, you don't want to clean up using the vacuum that you vacuum your rugs in your house with. So a good idea would be to get yourself a shop vac. This happens to be a Craftsman, and the cost is about 40 bucks. Okay, now here's a look at my table saw. This happens to be a Craftsman, and this is extremely useful if you're doing a flooring job and you have to rip down a row of boards. I've put in quite a few floors with this table saw. Now this one cost me 170 bucks at Lowe's. I think they're a little bit more expensive now, but it's better to buy it than rent it. because in the long run you'll have it, you'll own it, and whenever you have a project that you need to do that requires ripping boards, this is the way to go. This is one of my most prized possessions. This is a Craftsman 12-inch sliding miter saw. I own it for about 16 or 17 years. I think I spent about 220 bucks on it when I bought it, but extremely useful. I've done a ton of projects with this. I've cut stair treads with it, built an island, did a breakfast bar. Very useful. You want one of these if you're going to do flooring or build a shed or build a deck. An essential tool to have, extremely useful. And as I said, this is a 12-inch, which means the saw slides out and you can cut boards up to, I believe, 11.5 inches. Now they sell other brands and different kinds that you could buy, but if whatever you get, make sure you get a 12-inch. They sell them in 10-inch and 8-inch. Get yourself a 12-inch because then you can cut any board you could possibly need to cut. And if you're unfamiliar with what a miter saw does, I could just slide this table over if I have to make a 45-degree angle cut like that, and slide it back. And the saw also tilts if I have to make a bevel cut. You might not know what a bevel cut is, but that's for when you're more advanced and you need to learn terms like bevel cut. But for the time being, let's move on to the next tool. Okay, here is one of my favorite new tools that I acquired. It's a Chicago Electric oscillating multi-tool. I picked it up from Harbor Freight for 25 bucks and I've used this a ton lately. As you can see, I have a blade attachment on it, and this is great for if you're putting in flooring and you have to undercut door molding so that piece of flooring fits under and looks seamless. Great for that. If you're cutting in drywall to put an outlet box, extremely useful. I've cut pressure treated lumber with this, 10 inches, straight line, right in half. Worked great. And it also comes with an attachment, a sanding pad attachment, where if you're sanding a piece of furniture or kitchen cabinets, you could get it right in the corner. This works great, and I've used it a ton lately, as I said, extremely useful. So you might want to consider adding that to your collection as well. Okay, now one of the most essential things that I overlooked, I don't know how I overlooked this one, but you need yourself a tape measure. Get yourself one of these. It costs about 10 bucks. And if you're doing home improvements, you'll be using it a lot. Whether you're hanging curtains, doing flooring, whatever, you're going to be using this. All right, let me walk you over to my storage rack over here, and let's see what else I want to show you that might be essential. Let's start with the air compressor down there. Okay, now the air compressor is another extremely useful tool to have, and it's a time saver. It might not be at the top of your list for tools to buy, but you might want to consider adding one to your collection. This happens to be a Porter cable. I own it a great many years. I used it for a lot of jobs. And the compressor alone goes for about 160 bucks, but sometimes you can buy them in a package where you'll get the air hose with it and maybe a couple of brad nailers, and you could get a package for 230 or 250 bucks. And you could also buy like these connectors for maybe 20 bucks. But it's an extremely useful tool to have. If you go out one morning and your tire is flat in your car, you just break out the air compressor and you put air in that tire. Or if you're redoing the trim, all this trim around this door I just put up. As you can see, I didn't get to paint it yet, but I used the air compressor and that brad nailer to put up all that trim and all that molding that you see down there. Okay, I pulled a couple of odds and ends off the rack that I want to show you. For working in low light situations, it's always good to have a headlamp. Helps you see. Got that at Harbor Freight for about 5 bucks. And if you're a new homeowner and you want to change the door locks like we all do, and maybe you want to add a deadbolt, you could get yourself one of these. This is a Mibro door lock installation kit. Again, about 8 bucks from Harbor Freight. And maybe if you're doing some woodworking and refinishing a piece of furniture, this is a Black & Decker Firestorm orbital sander. I had this for many years. Cost about 30 bucks. Now something I almost overlook, but it's something extremely simplistic, is a 6-foot ladder. If you're going to be doing any painting or changing any light fixtures, you're going to need one of those. And right next to it we have a dustpan and broom. That's always good to have as well. That ladder I have since probably about 1995 or 96. So once you buy one, you don't have to buy another. Okay, that about wraps up my little tour of my work area here and all the tools that I think are essentials to have and tools that you might be interested in. But before I wrap it up and let you go, I just want to turn you on to a woodworking project that's a lot of fun to do. It's great for beginners and it's also useful. As you might have noticed, I'm sitting at a workbench and I built this workbench back in 2006. And it's great if you have a shed, a garage, or a workshop area where you need a good solid bench. And this is good and solid. It's more sturdy than anything you'll buy at a box store. And it's simple to make using simple tools and 2x4s. Now, if you're at an Ollie's, you could usually find this book. It's a Black & Decker home carpentry book. And if you can't find it there, you can get it at Lowe's or Home Depot. But it's only a couple bucks and it has the plans to build this workbench. So just wanted to throw that out at you. That's it for me for now. As always, please subscribe and check out some of my other home improvement videos. There might be something there for you. Until next time, happy home improvement. I'll see you.